Okay, here's our next project. So, I've got my little project kit here. We're going to need a 1/2-inch circle punch, the leaf punch that comes in a bundle with the Painted Harvest stamp set. So if you bundle those together, you save 10%. Don't forget to use this hostess code to get an extra special gift for all of my Stamping Saturday participants. And we have the second largest oval from the Stitched Shapes framelits. Oh my gosh, it's such a mouthful. I have such a hard time with that one. And then I have the Crumb Cake Classic Weave Ribbon. Beautiful stuff. And I have all of my pieces of paper here, which I will give you measurements for in just a moment. And the colors, Amy, get ready for this. Crushed Curry, Cherry Cobbler, Basic Black, and Crumb Cake. So can I just say that I need these in real life right now? Crumb Cake and Cherry Cobbler. Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious, right? I'm starving. All right, so again, we have some more fussy cutting to do for this sunflower. And then we have, so I did not have the embossing folder for these. I believe there is an embossing folder for these white, you know, for the background, but I didn't have the embossing folder, so that's why I'm using the 1/2-inch circle punch. And this is a semi-eclipse card because you can see that there is black behind our sentiment here. That not only saves us a little bit of paper when we are doing our cutting, but it also gives us kind of another element. It kind of makes it pop that much more. Love it. Okay. Oh, and I also need soft suede for this as well. All right, so a standard card base with Crumb Cake. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. And I have already taken my bone folder and creased that edge. I have a basic black card mat, which measures 4 by 5 1/4. And that's just gonna go right on top here. I also have our Whisper White mat, which measures 3 3/4 by 5. That's gonna mount right up there. And then I have a scrap piece of Whisper White to do my sunflower. I have a small piece of DSP. This is from the same set, Painted Harvest, and this measures 1 1/4 by 3. And then I have a scrap piece of Crumb Cake for our leaves. So, again, bringing back in our stamp set, I'm going to mount up some of the pieces we will need. So, the large sunflower again, as well as the accent leaf and the innard to the sunflower. And then I'm going to actually leave the dots off of this one. I think it's just a little bit more classy, I don't know, without the dots. All right, so I'm going to stamp with Crumb Cake on Crumb Cake with the leaves. And now for the sunflower, of course. Okay, so this is Cherry Cobbler, and I just love how the Cherry Cobbler plays off the basic black and the Crumb Cake. I think it's just gorge, super gorge. Okay, so right there. And again, when I line up my stamp, I'm lining up this little pooch right here. I don't know if you can see that little indent, but I'm lining that indent up with the indent on there. And I think it works. All right, let's do the middle of our sunflower in soft suede. And then I'm going to get that fussy cut on again. And boom. We have our sentiment as well. So I'm going to actually stamp my sentiment right now on my white mat. And I'm going to use, I was going to use black, but you know what? I think I'm actually going to use my soft suede instead. So the sentiment I am using is so beautiful. I just love this. Your kindness means so much more than you will ever know. So cute. Okay, so I'm just going to put that off to the right, kind of in the middle. I am, first of all, going to cut out my sunflower. I'm going to fussy cut that out with my paper snips. And you guys saw how quickly it goes. So cut out the small bit first. Move your paper around your scissors. And now I've got my sunflower, I've got my leaves. I'm going to I'm going to banner cut, not fussy cut. I'm going to banner cut the edge of this guy. So again, cut once up the middle and then cut from corner to middle to get your banner. Oh, that would be cute too. That would be cute side to do, but I think I want to keep it on that side. All right, I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. So let me move these out of the way momentarily. I have my magnetic platform, one cutting plate, my cardstock, and then my second largest stitched shapes framelits in the oval. And I want to center that. My other cutting plate, run that through. And ta-da! Isn't it? And also from the rest of our white scrap paper, I'm going to punch out about, 10 or so of these circles so that I can, there's 5, put them on my project as the little accent pieces. And there is 10. All right. Moving right along, this card goes together really quickly, if you hadn't already noticed. So I am going to grab my snail, and I'm just going to put my black down onto my base, right like so. Boom. Okay, and now I'm going to put my white mat down. And then the next step before we do our embellishing is to pop this up. So I'm going to grab, again, my dimensionals. And then just kind of place it right over the top of where it cut out. All right. We're going to do our ribbon next, our little bow. So this is how I like to get a nice bow with that flat knot. Let's see if I can do it today. Some days are better than others. So I'm going to do 2 bunny ears, and then I'm going to cross one of those under. And then the ribbon is going to want to twist, so just let it do its thing. And then grab your bunny ears and pull gently. And you don't have to pull tight. It will stay folded, I promise. And either side looks pretty good, but I think I like that side. There we go. A little bit more of a tug. All right, ribbon snips. And I'm gonna give this an angled cut. Like so. Mini glue dots. I love mini glue dots for putting any ribbons on my projects because it holds really well. So 1, 2, and 3. Sometimes I may go a little overboard on adhesives, but can you really blame me? Because, I mean, they're so much fun to play with. Or is that just me? All right, stuck that down. And now we can get to the rest of our embellishment here. So I'm going to do my dots. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, you're going to spend that much time gluing all those little dots to your paper. But I think it really does add a cute and elegant touch. And so all I'm going to do is put a little bit of snail on the back of each one of these. And you can see just how quickly it will go if they don't stick to me first. There. Okay, and then you just go for it. Now, on my first card, I glued these down before I stuck my white mat down so that I could make them go off the edge, and I trimmed them off before I stuck the white mat down. But let's be honest, I forgot this time. So, you know, just stick them wherever. It's really just to get, you can tuck it behind here, no problem, because you're not going to see it. But, and you might still be able to trim a little bit off of the edges. Not a big deal. But I'm just going to kind of stick mine in random places where I know I'm going to be able to see it. And I'm not really focusing on this area because that's where our embellishment is going to go. Okay, so a little bit of snail on the stem of that guy again. We're going to put one coming out down this way, and I'm going to put the other one, kind of get my placement, because I want it to kind of go over the sentiment, so I'm going to stick it right there. And I'm going to double up on the dimensionals, because this has one dimensional, but I want this to pop up above that. So I'm going to double up my dimensionals, double down. And before I stick that down, I want to kind of get my placement for this guy. So if I put him there, I'm going to move him over a little bit actually, so that the top is going to get covered up. So a little bit of snail on the back of that. Get your placement again. And right there is good. Put him on the top of that. Oh, this is backwards, isn't it? There we go. It's like, oh my gosh, I just got my placement. What happened? And boom. There it is, you guys. How cute is that? That was a quick card. There is our second project using the Painted Harvest bundle. Don't forget to bundle it because it is worth it. You might be thinking to yourself, I have thousands of leaves. I have lots of framelits. What am I ever going to need a punch for? I tell you what, I reach for punches so much more often than my Big Shot and my dies, just because they're handy, they're quick, boom, they're easy to transport. I really, really do. Melissa's Creations endorses the use of this product. How's that for a plug?